So all of a sudden I feel this like as if like something shocked my brain. I am dizzy and I feel off. The voices are in my head are harassing me. I just felt like they just like my head just went back. They keep saying they're Egyptian American Muslim terrorists. They're talking in my head. They clearly made it obvious they're Egyptian. They clearly made it obvious they're Muslim. So they don't care about Muslims or Christians. Or Christians or Muslims, Christians or Egyptians at all. These are terrorists. They are talking inside my head. They live in California, Orange County, and LA County. Born and raised, it sounds like, and it is men and women. Women in particular are freaking out because the government agencies across the globe have come together, and now they are basically investigating the Central Intelligence Agency that is responsible for the protection of Muslims, Muslim nations, and the terrorists that are talking in my head are there. It is clear as day. It's all over the news. It's just not. It's basically discussed in subliminally to an extent, because there are these investigations that the terrorists are claiming to, or the claims the terrorists are making to quote unquote investigate are the records provided are being manipulated. So it seems as though that the government agencies have now they're closing in on them to clear up the records, and the voices in my head are abusing and torturing me, making my hair fall out, hoping that I will lose confidence and be insecure, and I'll be too tired, and I'll just look like I'm negligent on drugs and negligent on drugs, antisocial, uninvolved, irresponsible, so on and so forth. And they don't want me mentioning at all that I hear them in my head, because they're trying to pretend like they're coming from outside. I am at the moment, I'm dizzy because I had just put out another video. Every time they try and threaten me to stop, I'll just put out another video, and then when I put out another video to discuss what I'm hearing in my head, the voices in my head will more aggressively attack me using voices in my head that the voice itself produces these signals that either shock my brain, stop processes. So I feel like I'm having a stroke or a concussion where I just can't remember anything. I'm dizzy. I have blurred vision. They can make me swell. They can stop circulation. Like I said, they can burn your follicles and make your hair fall out, which they've done. And I mean, my hair, if you saw it before, and I've posted pictures before, major difference. I mean, we're talking 80% of my hair, and I look like I've aged 10, 15 years in 2 years. It's not even like this is crazy. The voices in my head are threatening my kids, saying they're going to attack their heads with these telepathy technologies, retard my children. They're going to retard me. They're going to cause us brain damage and destroy our reputations, and make us and isolate us so that we end up on the street, and so until we all die, basically. The voices in my head are nutcases. They're terrorists. It's obvious. They're screaming day in and day out that they're real people. It's not what you would imagine schizophrenia to be like. It's not like I am sitting here and I'm like, oh, listen to the listen to the birds outside, and the voices are like, oh my gosh, those are so, I love the sound of the birds. They're like, okay, no, it's like, fuck that, you seem too happy, sweetheart, and they'll just start going at it, and it's like abuse after abuse after abuse, to get me to stop trying to make progress, stop working, stop going to the gym, stop eating healthy, stop going to church, stop making new friends, stop going to the hospital to seek medical attention, stop seeing medical professionals, avoid prescriptions at all costs. No, they don't want me looking for any type of financial assistance or resources to provide for me and my kids. They don't want me at all doing anything productive. It's the voices in my head, and they are constant. I want them sentenced to death. I have said it a million times, and I'm going to continue to say it until the government's confidential informants come across my videos and my Facebook pages or my Facebook page, all my social media accounts, and discover there are a lot of inconsistencies, things that seem a little suspicious, so that they can bring it forward, so that they can subpoena medical records, so that they can provide that there's something abnormal going with the investigations, because it to all the Central Intelligence Agencies, it's made aware when someone's being investigated. So they're well aware of my investigation, but the problem is that they need the holders of the records for the investigation cannot provide any kind of information regarding the investigations. They have to remain confidential. Unless someone were to, from another Central Intelligence Agency, so there's one that oversees several others, to say, okay, there's clearly something wrong here. We want to investigate her medical records and see if possibly those investigating her are committing crimes, and in which case they'll start to prepare. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, or you don't believe it and I sound far out, that's fine. I don't care. To those that do, I really hope that I provide everything you need. I have understood this, I think, to the depth, and I'm going to make it very, 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 very clear as to their attempts to she just said dehumanize, which is very true. Myself, my kids, my mom, my sisters, my family, people that they've said in my head that they've murdered, just all of the crimes that they're committing. I hope I'm providing enough tangible evidence so that you can start to prepare a case against these terrorists pretending to investigate me. Again, there's no one screaming outside. If in fact what I was hearing in my head, someone heard it outside, there most definitely someone would have called the cops. There's no way anybody would have let what I've heard go. And this has been going on for 6 years, and 3 years. 3 years into it, I thought it was my neighbors. I thought someone was stalking me. And then when it was obvious and there were witnesses and people constantly saying, hey, Renee, no, you're hearing voices in your head, then the voices started to scream in my head, we're real people, we're you're being held hostage. It's this is you're basically being investigated, so, quote unquote, just a lot of nonsense. And so to scare me from seeing medical professionals and calling the cops and being around my kids because I'm afraid that there's something going on. Just all kinds of nonsense in my head. I 100% want these terrorists sentenced to death. I just want to make that very clear. They have attempted so many times to have my kids separated from me. This isn't a joke anymore. I desperately want them sentenced to death. I feel as though I am being tortured, and this is a slow death. This isn't like, this is tortured to death. Does not feel like schizophrenia. This feels like torture. I'm dizzy at the moment, like this really weird, like feeling in my brain feels off. What's going on with my head just isn't normal. I'm having stroke-like symptoms, but I have no underlying reasons to have a stroke. I'm having abnormal activity, but again, no underlying reasons. My hair is falling, absolutely no underlying reasons. I don't have, according to all, I've seen every specialist. I have no autoimmune disorders. I have no strokes or clots, or I'm nothing. I go to the gym every single day. The voices in my head have deprived me for 6 nights in a row of sleep so that I don't maintain my routine of doing my cardio in the morning. They're trying to make me dizzy so I don't work out, and extra busy so that I don't have time to cook. So I'm constantly eating out. It's almost like they're attempting to murder me and to find to create this the cause to the attacks on me with this telepathy technology. This is so inhumane. I just don't even know what to say. It's more than enslavement. I've been boiled down to a vegetable at times where I literally cannot remember anything. I'm to the point where it's like I'm like one hair short of forgetting my own name. It's just, this is insane. They're talking in my head. It's the women that are the problem because these people are laundering money, and the women sat there and spent money, went and celebrated, after defaming and framing and abusing and torturing and what they're saying is murdering and genocide and war crimes. Okay. And now the governments want to, sentence them either to life or death, or if they're at all affiliated and suspects, but there is no actual evidence leading to their involvement, then they'll be investigated the same way, just to make sure that throughout the entirety of the investigation, while they are getting all the names of the individuals that are involved in this terrorist organization, that none of them get away with I want to use another word other than atrocities because of what the voices are using in my head, but I mean, it is well suited for what's going on. So she is absolutely right. That's what she's saying in my head, one of the terrorists talking in my head. And I'm refusing, and they're like, well, you're just gonna fucking die with this bitch, and they keep saying it over and over again. And they're like, I swear to God, if any of us get sentenced to death, or we get life, or whatever, then just best believe you're dead. Like, that's all they keep saying in my head over and over again. They live in LA, they live in Orange County, they're literally like an hour away tops. Okay. And how do I know this? I just feel it in my gut. And knowing that, I'm not like running around LA looking for them. they're talking in my head. They say they can see through my eyes. So I'm like, okay, why in the hell would you need see through my eyes and talk into my head? What is the purpose of all of this? And so with that, when they had mentioned that, because they didn't want me comfortable in front of the mirror, okay, because they want, and then it was like the men laughing at me and making me feel uncomfortable in front of the mirror so that I would, so I spent less time trying to get ready. That is when they made it obvious, and I was like, wait, what? Hold on a second. There are records involved, and that's when I was like, okay, I don't even need to leave my room to make it clear that the voices are in my head and these are criminals. And from that point on, I just sit, I record what's I can hear within my four walls to make sure that there are records to compare the classified records for the telepathy technologies that they're using to surveil us or me, and then I just talk in the mirror. Promise to God, I will look in the mirror and I will talk to them as if, because when they're viewing it from their computer, it looks like it's a Zoom call. So I'll sit there and I will talk so that if they were to make any claims against me, any Central Intelligence agents or people responsible committees for reviewing these records can see clearly how I have managed to provide evidence that the terrorists talking in my head, well, the individuals talking in my head are talking in my head and are actual terrorists. And and so there's that. So like I said, I don't even need to leave my room to make that clear. And if I do go anywhere, there are cameras everywhere. I can, if I go shopping, I'm looking for, clothes, or I'm going to a department store, there are mirrors there. I don't have to go out of my way at all to sentence them to death. The records are available, and now I'm including these to be, to hopefully be used in the cases against these terrorists. So, yeah. There goes another 20 minutes of my time when I should be working. I have my daughter's tutor is now decided to leave. I have to look for another tutor. I have, people that are interested in possible loans. I don't know. I need to make money. I'm on Social Security. It's not enough. And I'm hoping that if, in fact, I can make something of it, then it's a little extra, pocket money. If not, then it is what it is. What else? I'm just, what else? Oh, and what else did I have to do? And then, of course, I have to prepare something to eat for me and my son. And I'm hoping to get through. I have like 5 more calls to make before I wrap up my day's work. And then I also have to go through a video that goes through how to quote certain programs, so that way I can prepare proposals for these special programs if, in fact, I find anyone that may be interested. And that is my day. That is what I'm doing today. The voices in my head have been nonstop abusing me and torturing me since yesterday. I already missed my workout because, of course, I went to the hospital. I was like, I'm done. 6 nights in a row of no sleep. That's sickening. And I explained to them exactly what I'm explaining here. And I got back, and as soon as I got back, I sat in front of my computer. I intend to go back to the gym tomorrow. I am overall, based on my blood work and my and all the imaging done, and imaging done. I I seem healthy. It's just the voices are making me dizzy, and they're causing me these they're causing me confusion in my mind. It's just I can't keep my thoughts together. I'm always feeling distorted or unorganized and cluttered in my thoughts. So anyways, I gotta go because I gotta finish up what have I have scheduled for my day. And if you're listening or you've been listening, thank you very much for your support. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.